junior high, literally have been playing sports ever since they're younger. What gives it a twist is this, cops don't want to, admit to regular ed, and I explained thoroughly at Alpha and Omega is when you have a six pack, literally your mind is centered around the world versus yourself, which is where autistic people are selfish. Therefore, my mom even asked me a question: do I know about, regular ed? And since you don't respect me, since you don't understand, I'm working with the supersonic characters and the girls. Okay, first of all, something I said out loud. I listen to mid without being high music on purpose at Alpha and Mega or the mixed lesbian cops. You want to say I'm an adult in the real world, I'm going to do whatever I fucking want, and then hit me with debt, and then hit me with responsibility. Probably a richer, bill later. Literally, I listen to music specifically, literally, that they have slang, literally, that was just beat, literally, but beat with being, like Eminem lose himself, Sour Patch Kids, Asher Roth, literally, all that fucking shit. As somebody who grabbed a girl named Vicky with checkerboard pants, I have the right to speak about junior high. But anyway, that was a formula. And what that does is that exposes white people. That's why teachers are American, everybody kept on crying because it's like, he's flipping 150. We fucking use that fucking order hide behind the grades and looking clown with a fucking squirrel walking around. Anyway, the truth of fucking junior high is that they're physically strong. That's why they're funny. And that's why when everybody's making jokes by playing sports ever since you're younger, you get mad. And then on the dance floor, guess what ends up happening? The sports and everything, include the game, a gang gives them a boost on the dance floor, leading to a point where they're physically strong, which leads to speeches to their parents or cockblock somebody saying that, his legs are physically fit, doing this, and that. Literally, oh, he tore himself, oh, he did a triplets, that takes one over 290 pounds, even though he's younger than time, literally, because most people in the Olympics literally don't think about shit like that. Literally, have a toothpick that people can call out on the outside, because everything's related to junior high. Adrian. It's true. It's completely fucking true. And Jesse was a good character in Yu-Gi-Oh!, especially when he fought Pegasus. I woke up to Jesse every single day in Alpha and Omega. She was beautiful. All right. Then the voice actor Jesse died. Irony. Man, I can't believe a character around me. He might, in terms of slang, be alive, but that's a part of quarantine and NASA, but he's not. He's not. He had a big, problem with his head. But I've been keeping up with his continuity ever since, Super Ben came out, Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. All right, literally an ultra ego, and like I say, geekdom's only a little bit better than me. All those people out of my strategies, this is a little bit better than me. All right, literally, but girls that make the brand makes the girls. All right. Anyway, the truth behind Robert and shit, Lily, is that they're connected to gang members. Their blood. Lily, whenever I told you anything Wrigley, anything this is that is blood. So their blood's on top of playing basketball, on top, doing the Olympics the way they think is loony. Because what people do is they call out, the inside. And the inside they have their imaginary friend, but on the outside it's principle. Well, let me tell you, Lily, what people are missing out, the teachers are American shit, Lily, is that after you go through a whole quarantine, Lily, and you have a daughter, Lily, why you think that we discarded 1/5? Lily, because we want to raise our kids, our daughters to get away with anything but 1/5 like you. Lily, I'm telling you, because 1/5, Lily, if we stayed that way, we'll never be able to make buildings, we'll never be able to make a status, we'll never be able to make big people. What it is, Lily, it's a hot shot, Lily, in the real world. And the whole time, by the way, if you didn't know, against my mom, Chaz, when she was dead, did she fuck up Chaz? Lily, that's the only person she didn't fuck up thoroughly, because that was the whole meeting. I was the bad boy, I fought you. Lily, I remember, every action as reaction, one thing's connected to another. Lily, that's when junior high, they're fast, this, and that. Lily, I'm telling you, and once you start working your thighs, I'm telling you, once you start dark game guys and you start working on anything but your thighs, you recognize Lily White brothers, mind is intertwining shit. Lily, that's why he's a monster truck. All right, Lily, but there's a part of him that's lazy. There's a whole lot of shit. Lily, fucking, you run into, oh, well, if you don't want to support Chris, recognize that Eris is, taking showers every single day. I'm telling you, that doesn't stop people from critically, attacking Eris, Lily, for his mental health on paper. Lily, no matter how much 150, matter how much 180 is, Lily, it's great. You fucking jump to conclusions and say, don't you think where it led you that far? Like I said, all you're doing is thinking your imaginary friend and using Jason because you feel the exact same way, know the exact same advantage. That's the far from humanity. You have to feel for that somebody. Literally, if you separate things in 1/4, you recognize when you're running over everything. Why do you think Eris has been getting over 1/4 over you for years? But it's been a whole high school graduation. Like I said, I might go to jail, I might not, but I don't care. All right. Because I live my life to fullest. Wanna why? Lily, I did that formation battle with Noel. Lily, I did that formation battle with Gum. I can't hold on to it. I'm not in the fucking studio as you don't believe in something on top of something because you want everything to be an excuse to catch me with a sexual assault. I'm like, fuck you, Lily, and I don't care. Lily, that's why I see belly saying on the filter when you pop up in NASA and say you're gonna so-called use NASA to support me. I'm like, where the fuck is this support? All right, Lily, it's true. Literally, and I can play Yu-Gi-Oh! I can do fucking everything, literally, but then you got rid of anime. You called anime square shit, literally. They literally compared the anime movie I made to a dance move. Literally, I'm like, get the fuck out. Literally, get the fuck critically out here. I knew how you was paying. I was cool with Goshen. I was cool with Christmas Sabbath. Didn't even shit. You know, there's a lot more. All right, literally, if I'm feeling like literally, if Super Beaver, literally, if a little kid listening to get little Super Beaver, literally, if felt just like the old world when I was younger, literally, is inspiring somebody just like me, literally, and guess what ends up happening, right? I don't feel it. That means I'm an android. I don't feel like less of skill. So what if somebody literally felt it? Literally, that's a little fat. Literally, a fucking grown man bitch is 300 more pounds than a little autistic kid. Literally, then you're not valid in the company. Then you're not valid in the fucking media. Literally, if a little kid can fucking think the way that I was younger, literally, you don't want to lose. You don't want to lose, literally, and I can't feel it. But it exists. That means you have a problem. That means literally something with high energy, somebody feeling something in now I can't feel. Literally, there probably people still watching the baptizing especially right now. How come I don't feel it? Literally, because I'm strong. You want to know why? Because you're not going up and down with it. And you use up and down to manipulate me with people like Liverso saying that if you want to see yourself, you want to do this and that, you're a loser. All right? Well, about this happen when I go to jail. If you don't control the situation, you see, that's the biggest fucking, non-reverse psychology that you have. Literally, it's the fact that you're a loser, you're lame. All right? Literally, because you structure everything about come versus come. Literally, I for dime pieces for the 1,000th time. All right? I grew up in Big Crip Bend. Literally, you're not fooling anybody. All right? I'm done. I'm done. That's just, one of the parts. Uncle Tommy is another fucking barrage, really. And that's why, you didn't get CJ, all right? Those aren't victories because consistency is the best. You can't wait till round two to get consistency. This is their emergency. I'm telling you, literally, because consistency is the only way for somebody to take you seriously. And at 9 times out of 10 Isaiah is what they avoid in a child. They avoid actual socializing. What they do is they go into them, literally saying they're a country white boy, saying that they're military, that they're out of mind. Because what they're doing is they're paying attention to Eris's, curly hair. Because what Mr. Pledger and Mr. Pablo do is they say it's in the Hall of Fame because compared to most freshman year attempts, that's what they do. They compare it to most freshman year attempts and said, look at the principle. We all know why, because of what it actually is, because they call out anal. But they don't really call out anal, they call it a thing because Eris was the thing in the middle of the meeting, and literally there's inner dialogue. Literally, I said, Isaiah, do you want to smoke? Literally, there was no lesson because Mr. Pledger and they did the same. Worse, all right? Literally way worse. But where Ali, what I did recently was I showed people my dopamine when I was watching all those Naruto MVPs. Oh, Shake It. Oh, literally All Star, literally Smash Mouth, literally to the point where I got rejected by Ali. Oh, literally, that's why people don't fucking like it. Literally, I just did that recently. Not doing the whole fucking time they were single mothers over fucking $1 trillion of debt, talking to their anime community fucking kids. Literally be like, oh, you don't get it. Literally up in the nerds. So I fucking post gamers thing. 2 versus 2. Literally fucking 1,000 pounds. Literally hit me over and over again. Oh, and like see if successful Republic was the best player on the block. Literally, I do all that shit, alright? Literally, in position where you can fucking both of them. And it's true. Leading up invite me to my party. I guess you can call that, let it come to you. I was held that shit for a while. The opinion for the leader in the reality show with the Rado was fucking out of this world. Or where it came to Timothy together, I am gonna do a 2020 versus 2026 review. Literally, how in Wild Out, I was in the first two. That was the principle. And me, versus me being the next Timothy Delgado. Literally, it was in another world. And guess what they did? They say a gangster is, a homosexual by default. Literally, there's no fucking praise, there's no nothing. And that's why you're retarded. That's why you're retarded species. Allowing somebody else to have more, embarrassment, but more establishment than one other is what ruins society because eventually there came, a battle between Eris and the net. Literally, well, he had no problem with street sports. It was 2 versus 8. Literally, but couldn't use their Seiya because he only had Asperger's. Literally, and now everybody can use their Seiya against him. All right, literally, and now, to be honest, I'm only half insane. Literally, because what you do is you put the world. Well, I could put two together. Literally, but what you did do is you had me aligned the country built from Nelly. Literally, all the way to practicing, all the way to the legendary Chigiri. All Earth did was play off of establishment. All right, Lily, it's true. So I'm gonna cut it short before I ruin this video. Rainbow Pride.